Okay, so I'm about to be doing a lot of work to the E36. It's my priority right now. I'm trying to get a lot of things done so I can get to turbo in the car, and I know a lot of you are here because of the Miata, which it's been a little bit since I put out a video on it, and a lot has changed. I've been doing a lot of work to it, just trying to clean it up and getting it nice and presentable because it was really haggard. It's still really haggard, but I figured I'd do a video just going over everything that I've done, changed in the past couple weeks that I've done off camera, and I'll also do a little bit of work on it, just clean up stuff in the engine bay, just some little things like that. But I'll go ahead and start now. Now, first and foremost, you'll obviously notice that I have painted the car. I went with the same color as the E36, like a cream tan sort of color, which I think looks pretty good. It looked a lot better when I first did it, but it's already faded a bit over time, which I'm probably going to go through and add a second layer just to get it a bit more even, a bit more shiny. But I also drilled some holes in the front for cooling. It's just above the radiator crash bar, so air goes straight to the radiator, which I know you can't really see in there, but it should help with cooling, and it also looks a bit more aggressive, which the Miata could really use. But now I will go into the interior. So first thing you'll notice is that I picked up some new seats to replace the old tan leather ones. Now these are actually in really good condition. I know they're dirty, but I got them at the junkyard on half off day for next to nothing, so I'm really happy about that. I'll clean them and they should look pretty good. There's no rips or tears or anything, and they're a lot better than the leather ones. The fabric's just a lot more grippier, and the padding isn't as thick, so it just, the side bolstering just seems to work a lot better for me. The leather was just slippery, I didn't feel held in, and it also made my back really sweaty, which is never fun. Which will obviously help out a bit with handling, especially with autocross and everything. With the leather ones, I would just be sliding all over the place, which they weren't too bad, but these are definitely a nice little upgrade. And it also means that I finally completed my tan to black interior conversion, which I actually still need to do something about the seat belts. I'm probably going to dye them black or maybe even red. If I don't like it, I can always go from red to black, but I figured I'd give it a shot. It might look cool, it might look cheesy, so who knows. But now I'll move on to the next thing. So this is probably my favorite thing that I've changed recently. I finally got rid of those ricey eBay lights and replaced them with some OEM ones, which I actually already had this side and just had to pick up the passenger side. And on camera, for some reason, these look really dark. They look tinted, but they're just completely red. They're not tinted dark or anything. I took some VHT red nightshade to them, which this used to be clear and this used to be amber, which the solid red just looks really good, which I wish I could sort of pick up on camera. They actually used to be really dull. They didn't have no shine to them, and I sprayed them with that VHT and it just completely revitalized them. I recommend it to absolutely anybody with Miata taillights. But that's pretty much all the major things that I've changed recently off camera, which I think it looks way better than it used to when it was gray and nasty and everything, which it still looks pretty rough. It's got a long ways to go, but now we got that all out of the way, we can stop talking and move on to actually working on the car, which I'm going to be deleting the stock coolant reservoir. It's old, faded plastic, brittle, tends to crack, and it's really bulky, so I'm going to be replacing it with a nice metal shiny one. Now I'm going to try and not talk too much about this, but I just wanted to show you all what I'm going to be replacing the coolant reservoir with. Now this is actually just a metal catch can. It's actually been modified a little bit. Now this was given to me by a friend who is actually the same person that helped me out with the war chip and everything, so definitely go check him out. He really helped me out. But you can see that this has been modified a little bit. This has been welded on there. It's not welded by me. It used to be right there, but it should work perfect as a coolant reservoir, and it looks shiny and nice and should hold up. Which a lot of people will just run the stock hose that goes through the coolant reservoir to a water bottle or something, which is obviously really sketchy and will pass at pretty much no motorsport events, so I'm definitely not doing that. I'm just going to take this oil catch can and plug off the outlet that would normally go to the intake. I'm going to take a vacuum cap, just put it over there and just run the hose to it. It should be real simple, and we'll just clean up the engine bay a bit. But now I know you all are sick of hearing me talk. I'm sick of hearing me talk, so let's get to work. Alright, so I finished up and it seriously took maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It was a super easy job, and my stock coolant reservoir was actually already empty. I never put coolant in there because the thing is disgusting. There's all sorts of like nasty debris, all sorts of just stuff I want nowhere near my radiator, coolant, engine, anything like that. So I just had to pretty much pull it out and throw the new one in, hook it up. It's just real simple and it looks way better. I'll just show you now. It looks 10 times better, to be honest with you. So just walking up to the engine bay, you'll just notice it's a lot more clean looking. The plastic thing just filled up this whole corner here and it just didn't match the rest of the engine bay at all. It's just black and red, as you can see, and just the bright plastic, it really ruined the look of it. I'm just trying to clean it up, which you can see is real dirty. I need to just go through and clean all the like stock engine bay paint up and just try to get it looking somewhat decent. But now we'll actually look at the like catch can coolant reservoirs ghetto setup. Now you can see I zip tied it on there, which I know is pretty sketchy, but I actually have it like that on the E36. I ran it for like 2 years. It's not going anywhere. There's no problem, so it's gonna be fine, which I'm gonna cut and make some brackets and probably weld it to maybe somewhere back here and mount it. I might just bolt it in, not weld it, just a temporary setup. I think it'll look a lot cleaner, but it's out of the way, it's simple, and it freed up a lot of space here, which is always nice. But that's pretty much all I'm going to do today. Tonight I might actually go through and delete a few small things. I've pretty much deleted all the major things I really can. I'm trying to strip it down as much as possible, so now all that's left is just like rerouting wires, deleting wires, just that sort of thing, which I just want to get it cleaned up. I want it to look pretty much as close to like the E36 as I can, like engine bay wise, where it's just like the motor, the essentials like master cylinder, like brake reservoir, and just stuff like that. Everything else must go. I might even delete like the pop-up headlight motors. I don't know. I'm probably just going to get antsy and just rip everything out of there. But that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to be doing a lot to the car, but it is probably going to slow down because I'm shifting my focus to the E36. I've got a lot of parts to go on that car, and it's going to take some time to throw them on, which I'll probably still do stuff here and there on it, which I'm actually planning to roll cage to this car. It's probably not going to be soon. It might be like a month or two from now. But I looked it up and you can actually get everything pre-bent, notched. All I'd have to do is just weld it in for like $200, and I think it'd be like a nice DIY for like the Miata community, just because you can buy a hard dog for $500, but if you can weld a little bit, you can have a full setup 6-point like true roll cage for like $200, which I think would be an interesting video, but that's a ways off. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up. If there's anything you want to see Miata wise, I can probably do it, so just let me know. But as always, until then.